Hello again everybody and a very warm welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look at the Pimax Crystal Light in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So a very warm welcome to you wherever you are in the world. Hit like, hit subscribe, and as always share your thoughts down in the comments section below. The links to the sceneries, the aeroplane and the product, the Pimax Crystal Light VR headset, will be down in the description below if any of them interest you, along with a link which will also have a bit of a discount for the channel on there too. You join us in an early morning here at Vancouver. We're in the PMDG 777-200ER for good reason. I'll explain why in a short while. It works particularly well with the VR headset. And we're going to do a very short positioning flight down to Seattle today. We're on the VATSIM network just to add to the pressure and see if I can do that whilst wearing the headset. Get stuck right in. And here's the headset itself. It's a pretty funky bit of kit. It's quite bulky, to be fair. There's a lot of hardware inside of it, in fairness, and it's got a really good kind of adjustable headset thing to get yourself nice and comfy, and a big kind of retainer strap at the top. Without further ado, we shall get her moving. Move chocks.
Commencing push.
Door management.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Arm them all. Cabin crew doors. Armed and cross-check. Going to get the EFB back up, ready to go. Pins. YVR, airport information. Okay, we're in the Rolls-Royce Trents today, so we have our auto start functionality as well. So left, right start, auto start is a feature that's on. And left engine run, right engine run. Get those engine displays on there as well. Vancouver traffic, Osprey 165 heavies, push and start facing east, stand 14. We've got QNH 1027. Now the reason why I've picked the PMDG 777-200ER today is because of how vast this aircraft is, how incredibly immersive it is, but also the fact that we've got the tablet. And the tablet is going to come in really handy throughout the day. Because instead of having to kind of take the headset off, have a little look at the charts, what we can do is just look left and the charts are there on the windowsill for us, which is really quite cool. One thing that stood out quite nicely as well is the fact that the cursor moves all the way across the entire flight deck, and you get a genuine sense of how big this aeroplane is by being in the VR headset, so it is pretty superb. Now, I've had it for a couple of weeks. The biggest issue that I have had parking brake sets is the fact that for recording content it's actually been pretty difficult. Okay, engines 1 and 2 look good, so we'll pop the auto brake RTO. Got to set trim 625. Go to the flight control status page.
Unlocking gear.
And we'll set trim.
Truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear.
65, that's all set. Rudder and ailerons 0, reset 0, flaps 5. And moving. We've got MCP set 15,000, 083 heading select mode, VNAV. Auto thrust systems are armed and ready to go. Wait for the ground pin from the ground crew to join to us. There it is. Happy days. And what's our taxi routing? So we'll turn out of... Gonna do some rudder checks here. Echo. Hotel. Lima. And then hold short of 13. There's a lot of kind of muscle memory required because you've got to know where all your hardware is because it's physically not, you can't look at it, you can't see it. Little bit of power. Taxi lights on. AP off. Overhead panel looks good. Little bit of the back of the brakes. And flight controls. Fully right. Back to neutral. Fully left. Back to neutral. All the way backwards. Neutral. Forwards. Neutral. And we've already done the rudder just prior to taxi. So we get that nose wheel steering nice and effective. I have found that when you look at stuff you have to physically look at it in order for it to be quite focused, otherwise it's a little bit blurry. But I suppose that's the sacrifice you get with a bit of performance. This is the Crystal Light, so I think it's 2K, whereas the Crystal Super, I think they've called it, is 4K. I would like to try that out as well actually, but it is what it is. What we could do is hide the first officer's tablets, we don't need that. Vancouver traffic, Osprey 165 heavies taxiing out of Echo, Delta, Hotel and Lima, hold short 13 Vancouver. I've done a couple of flights in this now, and in the headset that is, prior to recording some content, and I have found it really quite interesting because I thought there would be a little bit of nausea. I've used VR headsets in the past, albeit quite some time ago, and you can get that nauseous kind of feeling or sensation associated with them, but because we're in an airliner and we're not kind of blasting through the Mach loop doing loop-the-loops and barrel rolls and high G rate turns and all sorts of stuff, or in a racing sim where we're blasting around and everything's all blurry and there's a lot of motion involved, this is actually quite comfortable and you can wear it for a prolonged period of time. Now, last week in the UK when it was particularly hot and temperatures were reaching almost 30 degrees, you know, it got the headset itself got quite warm after about an hour. But I suppose, you know, there's a lot going on. It's rendering Microsoft Flight Simulator in my headset, so that's pretty big, isn't it? I'm still tweaking some of the settings for the VR headset. It puts aeroplanes in, for example. I don't know why. I don't want it to, but it does. And I'm sure there's a setting somewhere inside Microsoft Flight Simulator. But look how amazing the MCP looks and the glare from the ground, and all the buttons are really quite impressive. They're nice in 3D. It's the reason why I've picked the PMDG 777-200ER for this, is because of how high quality this add-on is, and how much I've really enjoyed flying it. And it's a new aeroplane as well, so it's quite good showing you guys the kind of seamless transition, if you like, between maybe a VR headset and one of the highest quality aircraft add-ons in the sim at the minute, similar to the Phoenix products and all the rest. I haven't tried VR with those. Okay, I can't hear anybody on the Vancouver CTAF, so we shall continue. Left here. Pop the strobes on. I have got the tablet up in kind of a bit of a in the way kind of thing at the moment, but it is what it is. Runway turn off and strobes. And Vancouver traffic, Osprey 165 heavies crossing runway 13 at Lima, continuing taxi to the hold point for runway 08 right, Vancouver traffic. mop up some of the checks. Recall, we're doing flight controls, ground equipment, anti-ice as required. Flaps set to 5. We'll get rid of that for now. TCAS can go on now. Spin that right around to the edge. And the QNH at the minute 1027 hectopascals. Haven't got it in the old inches of mercury that the US likes, Canada likes. So the Vancouver 2 departure, this one that's pinned on my charts, it loads. Basically maintain runway heading. And we'll climb away. There's the windsock. And there's the charts there. Climb heading 083 or as assigned by air traffic control. After a little bit of a climb out, what we'll then do is continue further up, route south towards Seattle. Got the MK Studios Seattle Airport scenery, brand new again for the sim. Quite interested to check it out in the VR headsets. Okay, lining up. Strobes, runway turn off. Landing lights can go on. Here's the hold point and the approach path is clear. Vancouver traffic, Osprey 165 heavies lining up 08 right via Lima and taking off Vancouver to departure. Vancouver traffic. Okie dokie. Little squirt the old brakes just to help us line up. Pop that down there for now so we can see the runway. And as we begin to straighten that wheel, we'll keep us rolling. I'll apply some power and then set takeoff thrust. Look at that haze, it's absolutely beautiful. Even the runway texture as well, this concrete here. FS Dream Team's Vancouver, I think, this airport scenery. Okie dokie, so nose wheels back to neutral. Rolls-Royce Trent 892s. Power's looking good, engines are stable, toga. We are on a D-rate departure today. Power set, speeds alive. 100 knots.
V1.
Rotate. V2. Keeping it coming. Positive rate. Gear up. Follow the flight directors. Yeah, as I was saying about motion, because there isn't lots of motion and it's all very smooth, you don't notice that kind of nauseous feeling that I've had before with VR headsets in the past because of what you do in flight sim. Vancouver traffic, Osprey 165 heavy is airborne through 2000 Vancouver to final call routing southbound. Base turn. Get the star fed in. Direct to Roche. Up and away. Climbing like a rocket. Looking pretty good. Right, so there's a little bit of the view from the flight deck, folks, as we climb up. Beautiful, isn't it? It's really quite something. Gonna get the tablet back up. I want to bring up the METAR. We've got altimeter 3030. It's pretty much similar to what we've got here. 3030, that'd be good. Coming in via Roche, routing south. Mana at 270, 12,000 or above. Set a low cruise today, 15,000, just because that'll be quite a nice cruising altitude. Got the approach charts ready to go as well, so we need to set some minimums. .579. Multitasking. It's a very short hop. There's a lot going on. The landing lights off. .579. What we'll do as well, we'll set order brake 2. We'll touchdown. And the Navarad page 1075-344 auto tune. 1075-344 looks good. And 34 left is the shortest of the 3 at Seattle. It's furthest away from the apron. It's 2,591 meters in length. We'll probably use most of it vacate as Zulu. So initially touchdown, order brake 2, then manual brakes Zulu, and we'll work down, then work all the way down Bravo back towards the main terminal building. We'll find a heavy stand to go and park in. Here's one of the other beautiful things with VR. Flying through cloud, and it actually feeling like you're in the cloud. If I just move forwards, lean forwards towards the glare shield, look at this. It's hard to kind of get it across on a recorded video, I suppose. But you do get that depth perception, you get the textures, you get that 3D effect all around you. So even the VOR buttons on the MCP, they actually feel and look 3D. It's like almost you could reach out and pinch it and move it about. And the same with the clouds as well. These clouds and the weather just is superb. It's really quite beautiful. Naturally, I want to say thanks to Dave, or Air Knots, for helping me diagnose some of the issues that I've had with the aeroplane, getting it all set up in the sim for the purpose of recording this content today. I do really appreciate your help and advice, mate, and Dorothy at Pimax as well for a little bit of ongoing support, along with the tech team, because I'm not very technologically minded, so recording this and not having it in that two kind of eye split screen that you get with a lot of VR headsets, as it would appear on my actual screen on the sim at the moment, recording it as if you see what I see through the headset itself has actually been harder than I thought. In relation to use, the Pimax Play app, you install that, you update the software, and then it is literally plug and play. I think it was Control Tab or Shift Tab, switch the simulator into VR mode, and then you're in. Get that headset on, immerse yourself in this beautiful world. It is quite something. I mean, aeroplanes like this certainly are worth their weight in gold, because you've got the tablet, you've got the moving maps, you've got the charts, everything at your fingertips that you can make use of. Yeah, and that's pretty epic, isn't it? You can actually feed the audio from the simulator, or whatever you're using to play VR headset, whatever games you might be using, simulators you might be using. You can feed the audio through the headset itself as well, which is quite cool. So you get that 3D spatial sound all around you whilst you're using the headset, and that increases the immersion even more. I've kept the sound as it is set up for my recordings of stuff in the simulator for obvious reasons. I want to give you guys all that noise of the sexy Rolls-Royce Trents. But it's so realistic, incredibly realistic. Right, so we want to be intercepting at Sonder 5,000, 6,000 feet. 6,000 feet at Sonder. That's what we're going to base our descent on. So if we have a little look at the 6,000 vectors. Rightio. Change that to 3030, ready for the approach because we're getting close now. So we'll go to the local QNH. We've stayed under 18,000 at transition altitude in the States and in Canada. And we've got all the charts ready to go. We've had a look at the missed approach procedure. If you've flown in virtual reality, let me know how you've got on. If you've got a different headset, or in fact you've got some of the Pimax kits, then share your thoughts down in the comment section below. If maybe you're looking at VRs for the first time, then again I'll be very interested to hear what you think, given what you've seen in today's video. And even if we look all the way around in the flight deck, kind of rotate around, you've got all this beautiful detail. It's an incredible 3D sort of environment. Get our descent ready to go. So we'll set 7, the limit to the vectors. And we'll have VNAV, both arms. Bring that range ring in. We're getting a bit closer. We've changed to the CTAF frequency. It's not particularly busy here at the moment. Very early in the morning for East Coast US. Moved the time back a little bit to get that sun up for the purpose of the video. We might get 1 or 2 jets flying around, but not expecting anything more. We've got the MCP set to 7,000 for the continuous descent. We're about to hit that VNAV path. There we go, so thrust idle, and we are now descending VNAV path. TTAC traffic, Osprey 165, heavies, 777-200ER, inbound in the descent, Marne RNAV arrival, currently to the north of Vegan, expecting ILS 34 left, all ports, flying downwind, CTAC. The airfield is down there somewhere. Can't quite see it because of the cloud, although the visuals are superb. Really thick cloud. Spot it. There she is. Ta-da! CTAC, MK Studios. Pretty cool. Cabin secure from the crew. Thank you, cabin crew 6 for landing. CTAC traffic, Osprey 165 heavies, downwind for the ILS 34 left. Speed's looking good. Don't envisage needing the speed brake anymore, so we can pop that into the armed position now. Got that ready to go. Quick check of the overhead panel. That's all set as required. Go to heading mode now because we're going onto vectors. So heading select VNAV path. Vastness of Seattle down below. That is an Air Force base. on the charts. I can't remember what it's called. Record. There we go. Lovely. Turn her in. Speed checked. Laps 5. We'll run her for the base leg. Cutting Sonder a little bit. $180. About 5's green. This looks so real. You feel a little bit more pressure doing this. This is probably as close as I can get to that Infinity Sim Wings experience I did down at London Gatwick, where that felt incredibly real. We have still got discount codes for that, by the way, if you do want to book those experiences down with Infinity Sim Wings in Gatwick, folks. AvGeek5 will get you 5% off, and if you're silver or gold frequent flyers, you'll get additional discounts with separate codes. Zero 50. Straight to 360. 20-degree intercept. Approach mode's armed. Runway's all the way up there through the clouds. I've bust the intercept a little bit, but we've got lots of time to get ourselves sorted out. And SeaTac traffic. Osprey 165 heavies now established the ILS 3 left. 15 miles to land. On the glide from 5. This is where the ground will start to get even clearer for us. Get lower and lower. I mean, look at that, it's just exquisite. Okay, down we go. One approach. Keep at 180, delay. Get a bit closer, we'll lower the gear. We're as efficient as possible. Overhead's good and ready to go. Missed approach. Time to 5. Fourth house. 10 miles down. Flat 15. Dean's green, gears down and green. 160.
2500.
Check. Seven. 32. Full flap. Pretty good on the glide slope. There are a lot of airfields rated here. This part of the US, fairly close together. We're very light today, so 132 is our approach speed. Set that for final approach. Here we go. The central business district of Seattle, just on the left, mid-center on our nose. And SeaTac, ready to enjoy our arrival. What I'll do is I'll hand fly this last bit.
1000.
How we get on. I have control. All pilots disconnected. That's because we are trying to get the aircraft kind of bypassed some of the checklists. Sometimes it doesn't like that. I think I might have just missed one bypass. But we are configured and set up for approach and landing as per. I love how this flies. It's interesting because actually in VR you do get that depth perception that you lack on a screen.
Minimums.
It's quite interesting. Trees on the left of 3D.
Minimums.
Continue. Very tiny adjustments.
100.
Get rid of that master caution.
50.
In ahead.
30. 20. 10.
Gently back the nose wheel to touch the ground. Reverse. Green. Quarter brake 2. High brakes. 60 knots. Love that noise. Right, and we'll vacate here. Bring that speed down to a reasonable rate. 30 knots. 20 knots. Looking right up there, starting the APU. It's probably not on your screen. And SeaTac traffic. Osprey 165 Heavy's vacated 34 left at Echo. Crossing 34 centre. Right's clear. Left is clear. 34 centre. Over the wigwags. This onto full screen mode. Zoom out a little bit. Work for down. Echo, cross SeaTac Osprey 165 is clearing 34 centre, now crossing 34 right. Landing lights off. Got the runway turn off lights off for now. Don't need those. We're pretty much off the runways. We'll turn right on Bravo. And SeaTac Osprey 165 is clear of all runways, turning right on Bravo to the main apron.
Seattle traffic, Horizon Air 545 at the south satellite gate is going to be pushing back and starting up our engine. We're going to be facing with our nose to the left and tail to the right onto the south ramp, Seattle.
Bridge modes off. Probes.
Seattle traffic, Alaska 633, pushing back from stand Delta 3 facing north.
There we go, folks. VR in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, the Pimax Crystal Light. Pricing structure, I'll write in the description. It's a bit complicated. Effectively, you can either pay outright or you can pay, I think, half or a set percentage figure in advance, and then the rest on like a monthly subscription. But do look into all of that, how that all works, and make sure that is right for you. These are expensive bits of kit. As fantastic as it is for an experience, my goodness, it's so impressive. They've got a big price tag attached to them for good reason. They are superb. So make sure you do lots of research prior to maybe pulling the plug and buying one for yourself. And if you do, then share your thoughts down below. We're all interested, I'm sure, and certainly wanting to hear how you get on. But in the meantime, as always, going to get it parked up on the apron here at beautiful Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks for watching.